So today we're talking about 10 things, 10 that I am absolutely unwilling to sacrifice while I'm saving money and getting out of debt. I bet you are going to hear me say quality a whole bunch in this video. Let's make it a game and post the total number of times I say quality down in the comments. So a few weeks ago, I made a video about what we have been willing to sacrifice to save money and pay off debt. Today, I'm going to tell you what I won't. And I'm going to get under people's skin, I'm pretty sure. Because when you talk about stuff you're not willing to give up, people get upset because everybody's values are a little different. And for me, I'm willing to give up having my hair done in a big fancy salon or professionally even. But somebody who's like a beauty blogger, that would be unheard of. So before I jump in, pause the video and write one thing, your very biggest thing that you are not willing to sacrifice. And let's see who has the most bizarro one. I'm all about the bizarro. So the very, very first thing I am not willing to sacrifice on is quality appliances. Appliances are expensive, but I am honestly willing to pay more for an appliance that will last for a long time than a less reputable appliance, shall we say. A couple of months ago, I talked about our ice maker and the expense associated with getting a new ice maker. It's this ice maker right here, and it produces Sonic ice. And there were lots of reasons we decided to go with this brand, but the number one reason was that the company who makes it, Scotsman, stands behind their product. They are willing to give a 5-year warranty. The ice maker that we had before was a KitchenAid, and it was about half the price, but they only gave a 1-year warranty. And within 3 years, it was dead. And we had to completely replace it. The second thing I am not willing to sacrifice to get out of debt and save money is family vacations. There is absolutely no way on the planet that I'm going to stay home. Our journey is a long one. Even if we were at a full sprint the entire time, it would be 36 to 40 months. But when you have family that you want to see, especially like for us, Mauricio's family lives in Colombia, and that's the country, not the Carolinas. When you have family that you want to see, if we hadn't gone down to Colombia at all during this journey, Mauricio's parents wouldn't have seen Melina from ages 4 to about 10. And that's not okay in my book. And, before the pandemic hit, we were actually going to go to Disney because Melina's at the perfect age to go. And our plan was to always pay cash for it and not have any debt coming out of it. And, our secret to traveling debt-free is always to budget 25% more than we actually think we're going to spend. Because if you come home with money, you've lost nothing. But if you overspend, how are you going to pay for it? The third thing I am not willing to sacrifice to pay off debt and save money is my health or the health of my family. This includes medication. Mauricio takes a medication for migraines where the generic does not work. It absolutely does not work. So he has to get the prescription in the name brand form. And it costs about 3 times as much. But you know what? It's worth it to not have a migraine. I've never had a migraine, so I wouldn't know. But I hear they're bad. Medicines that are necessary that aren't covered by insurance, or things that aren't covered by insurance. You know that I have talked repeatedly about my hair falling out. Well, I finally went to the doctor and they gave me a prescription brand medication. But since it's the medication that they gave me to put on my scalp to cause my hair to grow is off, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not what it's recommended use for to grow. It's a concoction of medicines that you put on top of your head every night because it's not what it's created for or its intended purpose. My insurance won't cover it. So I'm paying for that out of my pocket because not being bald is important to me. And I totally love to say that, exercise is in there, that I am not willing to sacrifice my gym membership, but that would be a lie. Number 4, quality clothing and accessories. that are timeless. So for my job, as y'all know, I've talked about it multiple times. I wear a lot of suits. I don't always wear suits, but I do in the current job I have. And what's fortunate for me is that I have had suits from 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago. Wow. That are completely timeless. You know, you might need to take it in a little or let it out a little over the years, but the cut and the style is completely timeless. And so I can use them year after year after year. And because they're quality, they don't fall apart. And of course, I take care of them. For example, my suits are St. John. A lot of my suits are St. John. And if you know anything about brands, St. John's is expensive. And I'm not gonna lie, I do have suits in lots of different sizes. So if I gain weight or lose weight, which seems to be my talent, like if I ever had a superhero power, I'd be gaining and losing weight. But I will tell you, I never pay the actual price for my clothes, ever. And I have one super secret little technique that I use, and I've only mentioned it once in passing on this channel when I was talking about, I think, my fry bag. And so if you would be interested in me doing a video on that, leave me a comment down in the comment section. The fifth thing that we are not willing to sacrifice to get out of debt and save money is quality home repairs. Sure, I can pay Joe Blow contractor half the price to come in off the street. I can go down to Home Depot and hire some unlicensed contractor to come and fix something. But inevitably, that costs you money because they end up doing damage, or maybe they're phenomenal. But I'm not willing to take that risk. When I pay somebody to do something, I want it done right, and I want it done right the first time. The sixth thing that we're not willing to sacrifice to save money and get out of debt is the people that do the yard work. This is our backyard. It's huge, and we have a big front yard as well. And it takes a lot of maintenance. We do have a lawn service that comes every week, sometimes twice a week during the high growth seasons in the summer. And then we also have a lawn guy that comes every 3 weeks, and he's the guy that weeds and puts down mulch and all of that. And those things cost a lot of money. But with Mauricio in school and with me working and doing YouTube and taking care of Melina and cooking and everything, neither one of us has the time to maintain our yard. So in order to not piss off the HOA in the neighborhood, we will always have lawn service. The seventh thing that we're not willing to sacrifice to save money and get out of debt is vehicle maintenance. So we always do our recommended mileage, oil changes, everything. It costs money, but preventative maintenance is much cheaper than repairs. And when we do have repairs, we go to a quality repairman that has a long history, one that we trust implicitly, that we know is not going to rip us off. And I'm not going to lie, we made the fatal error of buying cheap tires 3 years ago, and Mauricio's car has been a death trap for like the last 3 years. When it gets icy out, because that car is, you know, a lightweight car, it's nuts. It skids, it slides, because the tires are not made well, and they're not made for this area. So we're going to be replacing those this summer. The eighth thing that we are not willing to sacrifice to save money and pay off debt is electronics. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is 100% Mauricio, who needs like the coolest new gadget and everything. We do, you know, within reason. We don't get every new iPhone, but when there is an iPhone upgrade and it's amazing, with the iPhone 11, for example, the difference between the 10 and 11, or the 9 and 11, I don't remember which ones we had. I think we had the 9, but the difference was so huge with the camera that we went ahead and invested the money. The ninth thing that we aren't willing to sacrifice to save money and get out of debt is presents that we know somebody will love. For example, for my birthday, Mauricio got me an iRobot vacuum cleaner, and I have never been in love with something so much in my life. For Mauricio's birthday last year, I gave him a Remarkable, which, holy cow, has been a total game changer for him with school because he can take notes. and it converts it to text, and he can draw in his sketches and import them into the computer. It's been amazing for him. And the 10th thing that I am not willing to sacrifice to pay off debt and save money is my time. My time is valuable, and I averaged out my salary to figure out how much I make hourly, and I'm not even going to kid you when I say that if something costs less than my salary, I will likely buy it rather than do it myself. And the reason for that is simple. I have the same number of hours in a day that everybody else does, and I am not willing to sacrifice my mental health to save a couple of bucks. So things like Home Chef and Every Plate, those are huge time and stress relievers for me because I never have to worry about what dinner is. So the groceries come in a box, they show up at my house, there's a recipe. All I have to do is pick one of the bags out of the refrigerator, and that's what's for dinner. And I don't have to think about it, and it's so much easier. Grocery delivery. We do a lot of grocery delivery in this house, and yes, it's more expensive, but I don't have to go to the grocery store. And that saves me an hour to an hour and a half every weekend. So if you'd like to see the video where I talk about the things that we do sacrifice, and there's a lot of them, I'll put that video right up here. So I'll see you in the next one.